What I would like very much to know is they knew what his history was, what his attitude towards the poor was, what his focus on simplicity was. And with this very conservative wing within the Holy See, how did he get elected?
Just this you will read well described in the pages of my book, when I tell how Ratzinger was really brave and farsighted in resigning, because it was not an act of weakness. I mean, of course he was old, but he was also underlining and emphasizing that the popes must be capable to rule the church in connection with the rapid change of the times. This was very interesting, this nuance. A pope can't be anymore like in the Middle Ages, somebody who is maybe very old and lives in the Vatican, and somebody else is ruling the church. So Benedict was, in that moment, putting a very important issue. Nowadays, in the 21st century, the Pope can't be an icon. He must always be the real leader. And if he feels that the moment has come that he can't be the real leader, then he must give the voice to the voters. And who are the voters? The cardinals who have to elect a pope. No, the cardinals didn't know exactly that Francis was so revolutionary. The majority of the cardinals, after the resigning of Cardinal Ratzinger, felt that it was time to turn the page. The papacy of Ratzinger, of Pope Benedict, was, one could say, the last attempt to halt history, to say, let's stick to tradition, let's stick to doctrine, let's stick to mysticism, even if also Benedict is a very complex personality and a high intellectual personality, a good preacher. But in a first moment, the cardinals, the majority of the cardinals, were very disoriented. What to choose? A part of them wanted to choose the Cardinal of Milan, Cardinal Scola, who was, let's say, from the same line of Ratzinger, but who had a great temperament as manager, as ruler, as governor. Others wanted maybe to have some personality of Europe and still more of the Ratzinger type. But there were cardinals who felt that it was necessary to make a great change. And one of the options was the South American Cardinal of Sao Paulo in Brazil, the Cardinal Scherer. But he was too much connected with the former Secretary of State. So here you have, for instance, a great play of politics. You make a great change, but the old ruling class, a part of the old ruling class, still has his newcomer, like Scherer. But the majority felt that one had not to choose a man from the Curia, a man from Italy, a man from Europe. It was time to go to the new world, even if the most European-like new world, third world, as Latin America. What did they know about Francis? They knew that he was a man of prayer, that he was very engaged, socially engaged, and that he was a very good archbishop. They didn't know, and they knew that he was ready, as the cardinal asked, for instance, to make a cleanup in the Vatican Bank. And they knew that he thought that the Pope in Rome, whoever it could be, should have more contacts with the bishops all over the world. And they knew that he could be ready to make a reform of the Curia to make it a little bit slim. They didn't know that he had such a revolutionary program, that he wanted to reshape the church. He had never spoken so much about women, about gay, about giving the communion. He gave the communion in his archdiocese. A lot of priests were giving the communion to remarried and divorced people, but he didn't make a manifesto out of it. He never gave special roles to women, for instance. This is something new afterwards when he became Pope. Today you can say that there are cardinals who wouldn't vote for him again, also in the States.